Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Trade rumors market is heating up. Cooper Kupp may not be alone. In addition to the Myles Garrett requesting a trade from the Cleveland Browns, several more NFL stars are rumored to be on the market. Many of these rumors will end up not producing any results. Some of them are probably unfounded, but nonetheless Super Bowl Sunday has been active already. There are internal discussions in Dallas about what the Cowboys could get for edge rusher Micah Parsons, according to Ian Rappaport. If this is true, then the Browns are going to have an even harder time trading Garrett because maybe the best offer on the market will be used on Parsons, not Garrett. There are only so many teams with the resources to pull off such a massive trade haul. Notable Cowboys beat writer Clarence Hill, Jr. found this report preposterous. He's almost certainly right. Deebo Samuel, on the other hand, is most definitely on the trade block and probably has been since last year. That's also why trading Samuel will be very hard for the 49ers. He's probably got a biological age of 50 at this point. He hasn't been productive enough to justify his contract in several years, but it looks like Deebo will be some competition out there for any other receivers who could be traded. Him and Kupp certainly won't be the only two. And the cap casualties will include Davante Adams, among others. Wide receiver is a buyer's market, another reason the Rams probably won't be able to trade Kupp. The rumors are also heating up that the Titans want to trade the number 1 pick. Could there actually be a team that sees Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders as worth trading up for though? This isn't a strong year for the top of the draft. Rappaport also added that Max Crosby will be a name to watch. The Raiders are expected to be players for Sam Darnold if he hits free agency. Crosby is more likely to sign an extension than be traded. Tyreek Hill is also more likely to stay on his current team than to be dealt, according to Tom Pelissero. One more name on the move? Aaron Rodgers may get his release from the Jets rather than try it for a third time. Jerry Jones speaks Cowboys ahead of Super Bowl licks at Super Bowl week in New Orleans, and the NFL end-of-year awards were a who's who of NFL players, coaches, and even owners. You can bet everything you have that Dallas Cowboys owner/GM Jerry Jones was one of those attending the event. He uses any excuse to get in the spotlight, and the media loves it. The 33rd team's Diana Rossini caught up with Jerry and asked him what it was going to take to get his team in the building and on the field soon. Jerry claimed to be shocked his team wasn't here already, but the rest of his response is no shock to those of us that are used to his interviews. Jones was correct to say that you cannot win in the NFL with talent alone, but having the most talent possible on your team doesn't hurt. Getting the Cowboys front office to understand that has been the problem for nearly 30 years. He is trying to find the right blend of talent while focusing on staying true to the salary cap, but that's another huge problem. They focus so closely on blending the two perfectly that they can't see the forest through the trees. Jerry alluded to the fact that he's taken some pretty serious risk in talent before, but we know those risk-taking days are far behind him. The term risk seems to mean something different to Jones than it does to fans. We want risk to be spending big dollars in free agency, but he thinks risk means spending cheaply on players nobody expects to be successful. Then, when the player has a mediocre season to outperform their bottom-of-the-barrel contract, Jones gets to say the team got a bargain. There have been some moderately recent risks taken with players, most notably trading a first-round pick to the Raiders for Amari Cooper, but when was the last one you remember? Acquiring W.R. Roy Williams from Detroit? W.R. Joey Galloway from Seattle? Either one of those is too far back to consider recent history. Mr. Jones, let me say that if you wanted to win now, you wouldn't have waited until the 11th hour to agree to the contract we all knew Prescott would sign eventually anyway. If you wanted to win now, you also would have done something to bring more talent and explosiveness to the roster instead of making the highest-paid player earn his new contract. The offense lacked juice outside of wide receivers CeeDee Lamb and Kevontae Turpin, and the latter didn't get nearly enough opportunities to contribute to the offense. Running backs like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry were available in free agency, but the hometown Henry didn't even receive a phone call to gauge interest. The Cowboys decided beforehand that he wasn't an option. That type of frugal behavior while acquiring talent has been one of the main reasons 30 seasons have passed without an NFC Championship game appearance. So no, Jerry, don't you dare start planting seeds that the money you paid to Dak Prescott is the reason you are in the predicament you're in. Some would say it's difficult to argue with Jerry when he says he knows what it takes to get to a Super Bowl. He does have 3 Super Bowl rings on his fingers, but they were so long ago. He is out of touch with what it takes to get over the hump in the modern NFL, but he's too stubborn to admit it. It does seem like new HC Brian Schottenheimer has the freedom to assemble his own staff, and that's a step in the right direction. However, until the approach to free agency changes, the results won't change either. The problem is not that the Cowboys are terrible at managing the salary cap. They are the best in the league at managing it. The issue is that they manage it based on the bottom line, not based on the results on the field. From a financial standpoint, they are buttoned down and ready for an IRS audit. They get an F for the product on the field. Cooper Kupp rumors heat up following major Cowboys news. The Dallas Cowboys reportedly landed a significant coaching addition on Sunday, hiring Oregon's co-offensive coordinator/wide receivers coach Junior Adams away from Dan Lanning and the Ducks. Adams is set to become the Cowboys' new WR's coach, joining head coach Brian Schottenheimer's first staff. Adams coached several notable wide receiver names during his career as a collegiate assistant, including Los Angeles Rams WR Cooper Kupp. Adams recruited Kupp to Eastern Washington in 2013, and the two share a great deal of mutual respect. Kupp, the 2021 Triple Crown winner and MVP of Super Bowl 56, has praised Adams' coaching on several occasions. "It wasn't about winning the route. It was about doing it the right way," Kupp said. Adams lives in the world of being process-driven over results-driven. It's not about just getting open and making a play and scoring a touchdown. To be consistent, you have to have the process down and do that over and over and over again. He's going to make sure you have the tools to do that. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from him, just that the result isn't always as important as the way you got there. Earlier this month, Kupp released a public statement declaring the Rams' intentions to trade him this offseason. "I was informed that the team will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships," Kupp wrote. With Adams now on his way to Dallas, the Kupp to Cowboys rumors are beginning to heat up. And are you a fan? What do you think of Cooper Kupp's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.